the loss, whether the person remains the holder of the office or not. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, obligations of an accounting officer. Section 149(1) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 provides that an accounting officer is accountable to the county assembly for ensuring that the resources of the entity for which the officer is designated are used in a way that is lawful and authorized, effective, efficient, economical, and transparent. Section 156(2) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which states, if the county executive committee member for finance responsible believes that an accounting officer are engaged in proper conduct within the meaning of subsection 4, he shall take appropriate measures to address the matter in accordance with the laid down procedures, or refers the matter be dealt with in terms of the statutory and other conditions of employment applicable in that public office. This section empowers the CCM finance and the economic planning to take appropriate measures to address the matters in line with the terms of statutory and other conditions of employment applicable to public officers, especially designated accounting officers. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund. Honorable Speaker, the Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund is established pursuant to the section 44(1) of the county of Homa Bay County Climate Change Act 2022. The main objective of the fund is to address climate change impact, primarily through adaptations and mitigation strategies. The fund aimed to enhance the county's resilience to climate hazards like droughts, a flood, which with a focus on sustainable development, green growth, and water access management, reducing disaster risk, promoting renewable energy, and mainstreaming climate change adaptation into various sectors. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, in the financial year 2023-2024, the Homa Bay received a total of 262,984,144 from the financial locally led climate action FLOCA program. The amount includes 11 million under the county climate institutional support grant of 251,984,44 under the county climate resilience investment grant. In the same period, county made an own contribution to the fund of 14,050,000. Homa Bay Climate Change Fund planned to drill a total of 33 boreholes and installation of solar-powered pumps in 33 wards, rehabilitation of existing water schemes, purchase and distribution of improved and drought-resistant seeds to farmers in all 40 wards, and establish 82 community tree nurseries across 40 wards to support ecosystem restoration. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the Climate Change Fund for the financial year 30th June 2024 The report on the financial statement. During the audit for the year ended 30th June 2024, the Auditor General gave an qualified opinion on Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund for the financial year ended 30th June 2024. The basis of the opinion is that the financial statements presented fairly in all material respect the financial position of the Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund as at 30th June 2024 and of its financial performance and its cash flow for the year year ended in accordance with the international public sector's accounting standards and comply with the Homa Bay County Climate Fund Change Act 2022 and the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, committee observation. Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund management team presented a financial statement and report that gives a true and fair view of the fund financial positions, performance, and cash flow in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Committee recommendation that the Homa Bay County Climate Fund management need to maintain continuous improvement in internal control, timely reporting, and presentation of financial reports and regular internal audit to ensure sustained compliance. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, budgetary control and performance. The statement or comparison of the budget and actual amount reflects the budgeted and actual receipts of 369,145,148 and 262,381,108 respectively, resulting to a revenue shortfall of 109,764 and 40, or 29% of the budget. Similarly, the statement reflects an actual expenditure of 110,060,506 against the actual revenue of 262,381,108, resulting to an underutilization of 152,320,602, which is equivalent to a percentage of 58% of the actual revenue. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the under expenditure affected the implementation of the planned activities and may have impacted negatively on operation of the fund. Management response, that the management responded by stating that the issue was occasioned by delays of disbursement of the fund from the Treasury to the County Revenue Fund and the to the special purpose account, resulting in delay in commencement of the planned projects. Committee observation. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the committee notes with concern the significant variance between the budget and the actual receipts, which with a revenues shortfall of 106,764 and 40 respectively, representing a percentage of 29% of the approved budget. This shortfall, coupled with an utilization of the actual revenue amounting to a total of 152,320,602, which is equivalent to a percentage of 58%, indicates weak budget execution and absorption capacity. Such discrepancies contravene the principles of effective resource utilization as outlined in section 107B of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which emphasize the need for the budget to be credible and based on realistic revenue estimate. Furthermore, Regulation 41 of the Public Finance Management, that's the national government, Regulation 2015, requires that expenditures be aligned with the available resources and planned outputs. The observed under expenditure hindered the implementations of the planned activities. Potentially, the composition of the operation efficiency and service delivery of the fund and reflects poor adherence to the budget policy guidelines aimed at ensuring accountability and timely achievement of the program objectives. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, committee recommendations. The fund administrator to enhance revenue forecasting mechanisms to ensure more accuracy and realistic budgeting in compliance with Section 107 of Public Finance Management Act 2012. 2, the fund administrator to strengthen its budget execution framework by aligning expenditure plan with actual revenue performance as required under Regulation 41 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015. 3, Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund Management Team needs to develop an implementation strategy to improve budget absorption and efficient cash flow management to avoid underutilization of resources and enhance effective delivery of planned activities. Regular monitoring and mid-year review be instituted to address emerging variances promptly and maintaining the integrity of the budget process. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, report on the lawfulness and effective in use of the public resource. As required by Article 229(6) of the Constitution of Kenya, based on the auditor procedure performance, except for effect of the matter described in the basis of conclusion of lawfulness and effectiveness in the use of the public resource sections of the report. 1, late submission of the financial statements. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the financial statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2024 were submitted for the audit on 3rd March 2025. 5 months later than the statutory guideline. This is contrary to Section 68(2)(k) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires an accounting officer to prepare annual financial statement for each financial year within 3 months after the end of the financial year and submit them to the Auditor General for audit. In the circumstance, the management was in the breach of the law. Management response. The financial statement for the financing locally led climate change action program were prepared and consolidated with the report of the County Executive of Homa Bay. The management clarifies that the report was thereafter separated and submitted to the Auditor General for independent audit. Committee observation. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the committee notes with concerns that the financial statement for the year ended, the financial year ended 30th June 2024 was submitted to the office of the Auditor General on 3rd March 2025, 5 months past the statutory deadline. This contravenes Section 68(2)(k) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which mandates the accounting officer to prepare, submit the financial statement within the 3 months of 3 months after the end of the financial year. Further, the delay of submission violates the regulation 98 of the PFM regulation to 2015, which reinforces timely reporting obligations. The committee observes that the management's justification citing consolidation of the county executive report under the FLOCA program was inadequate, especially considering that the fund is an independent entity which separates the financial reporting and audit requirement as per Section 84(1) of the PFM Act 2012, which states that the administrator of a national public fund established by the Constitution or an Act of Parliament shall prepare a financial statement for the fund for each financial year in a form prescribed by the Accounting Standard Board. Further, Section 84(3) of the PFM Act 2012 states that not later than 3 months after the end of each financial year, the administrator of the national public fund shall submit the financial statement prepared under this section to the Auditor General. Failure to comply with the statutory guidelines undermines the transparency, accountability, and effectiveness of the audit process. Committee recommended. Honorable Speaker, members, the County Climate Fund Management Committee, to ensure strict adherence to the statutory guidelines for financial reporting as stipulated under Section 68 2K of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. The accounting officer to put in place robust internal control and reporting framework to guarantee timely reporting and submission of the financial statements to the Office of the Auditor General. The Homa Bay County Climate Fund to be treated as a distinct reporting entity and to avoid further delaying by instituting a clear calendar for financial reporting and coordination, including capacity building of the staffs involved in the financial reporting. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, report on the effectiveness of the general control, risk management, and governance. As required by Section 7(1) of the Public Audit Act 2015, based on the auditor procedures performance, there was general concurrence that internal control, risk management, and overall governance of Homa Bay County Climate Fund were effective. Committee observation. The Auditor General confirmed that the internal control, risk management practices and governance structures of the Homa Bay Climate Change Fund were effective. The auditor found that the key financial and operational process were well documented and consistently applied with no significant deficiency identified. This reflects sound control, environmental, and strong commitment to good governance and accountability. Committee recommendation. To sustain the positive performance, Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund Committee continuously review and enhance internal control system, risk management framework, and timely reporting. This proactive approach will enhance a continued effectiveness and resilience in the management and financial reporting of Homa Bay Climate Change Fund. Honorable Speaker, before I read the committee prayer, just allow me to make just one comment that will probably guide the debate on this report.
Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, you have to, and honorable members, you'll have to agree with me that this particular report did not have a lot of issues, as it actually, according to the Auditor General, attracted the unqualified opinion. And unqualified opinion is an opinion in an independent audit judgment that shows that an entity financial statements are fairly and appropriately represented without any identifying examinations or in compliance with the general acceptance according to accounting principles. This is a clear report that indicates that the auditor is satisfied with entity financial reporting during the audit, the audit period. That would definitely guide honorable members on how to navigate this debate. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I want to agree that in this, the executive really struggled and tried indeed to work within the framework that was actually given by law. I want to read that the committee prays, the Committee on Public Account and Investment prays that this House adopt this report. And Honorable Speaker, you will allow me to request, because of issues of delegation, I will request Honorable Boaz Kiri to second this report because he's a member of this committee. Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Boaz. Thank you. Honorable members, the report having been ably moved by the Honorable Nicholas Owaka, Chairperson, Public Accounts and Investments Committee, I therefore propose that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts and Investments Committee on the consideration of the Auditor General Report on Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Honorable members, the floor is open for debate. Honorable Tony Otieno.
Right, Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Speaker, I rise to support the adoption of this report. If you look at this, thank you, the Chair, the Honorable Nicholas Owaka, and the Committee of Public Accounts and Investment Committee. Speaker, you remember that was a committee I chaired for two years, and this is the first one I'm debating on. Speaker, this is a clean report. And if you look at it, the word unmodified opinion means a clean opinion. In the wisdom of the Auditor General, in terms of the climate change fund, the Auditor General gave it what we call a clean opinion. That is what the Chair says, unmodified opinion, Chair, Honorable Speaker. And when you talk about a clean opinion, Honorable Speaker, it means that in terms of the material misstatement in there was no material misstatement in the financial statement, Honorable Speaker. And it presents fairly what is called, in all respect, the material respect, in accordance with the applicable financial regulation framework. It indicates that this is something, the report has no material misstatement, Honorable Speaker. Wisdom of the Auditor General, he believes that the financial statements fairly represents what is called a clear position of the fund, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the county received a total of 262,984,144. And Honorable Speaker, the composition of this, according to this report, 11 million was for the CCIS, and this is the grant part of it. 251, 984, 144 was the CCRI grant, Honorable Speaker. In terms of the contribution of the county, it was 14,050,000. This is called the own contribution, or what is called, according to this report, the county county contribution counter fund, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you look at other counties, and I've looked at a number of counties, Kiam, for example, and the report is in the public domain, there are a number of issues that the Auditor General mentioned in those counties. One of them, there was overspending in terms of administration costs, which is not in this report, Honorable Speaker. If you look at other counties, the Auditor General mentioned something of unsupported use of goods and services. If you look at this report, this is not indicated. It means in terms of documents, they were supported, Honorable Speaker. The only bit, Honorable Speaker, which the auditor mentioned is about the budgetary controls and performance. And this is very important, that there was underutilization of about 152,326,02. Remember, Honorable Speaker, according to this report, the Auditor General report, the budgeted amount was 369,145,148. The actual, Honorable Speaker, is 262,381,108. It means the county budgeted with 369 million. But what was received was 262,381,108. Honorable Speaker, you note that there's a shortfall in terms of revenue of about 106 million, which translates to about 29% of the total budget, Honorable Speaker. I mentioned that in terms of utilization, underutilization of 152 million, which translates to about 50-something%, about 58% of the actual revenues, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this, in terms of the budgetary controls and performance, it means that there was aspect of weak budget execution, which the county government needs to work on. Remember, if you look at Section 107, and the Chair already mentioned this, 107B of the PFM Act of 2012, as read together with Regulation 41 of the PFM Act, National Government of 2015, there was a bit of in terms of compliance, Honorable Speaker. They need to work on this. And the report categorically, and I agree with the committee, that they need to have strategies in terms of implementing their budget so that we don't realize this shortfall, Honorable Speaker. The other bit is about, Honorable Speaker, is about, if you look at the Auditor General's report, is divided into three. That is the report of the financial statement, the report of the lawfulness in terms of effectiveness, use of public resources, Honorable Speaker. There is also a bit that the county government needs to work on, the late submission of the financial statement. Honorable Speaker, this is something that we are not taking lightly as a whole house. If you look at Section 68(2)(k), it's very explicit that at the end of the financial year, the county government needs to submit the report 3 months after the end of the financial year. The Section 68(2)(k) of the PFM Act is explicit on that. Late submission is something that we cannot allow because we have department, people in charge of accounts who are supposed to prepare this financial statement and submit them to the Auditor General for audit. So this is something that they need to work on as per that Section 68(2)(k). The other bit, which is also interesting, is the report, the effectiveness in terms of internal controls, risk management, and governance. The Auditor General, in his opinion, says this was effective. This is something very important as honorable members. We need to note, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, this is an explicit report, and as I mentioned, in a simple language, it's a clean opinion. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tony Otieno. Well put. Honorable Daniel Odongo.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity this morning also to congratulate the committee chaired by Honorable Owaka, that is the PAC. Honorable Speaker, the motion before us today on the report of climate change, Honorable Speaker, it's a very clear report, and I want to agree with my colleague who has discussed this just now, Honorable Tony, that it is very, very, very important that as members, we need to understand this, and this is now an eye-opener. It is important that when a department does all that is necessary in relation to the legal framework, that is precisely the PFM Act, Mr. Speaker, the departments will find it very easy. Madam Speaker, as members who are undertaking the oversight role, I want to agree with the report that in relation to service delivery, Honorable Speaker, if you move round, you will realize that the climate change fund has been properly utilized. The members sitting here, each and every member can attest to that, especially under Flocker, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is important that each and every committee that has relevancy in terms of reporting, especially when it comes now to, when it now moves to the audit. Please, members, let us be very active. I want to confirm to you that the Department of Water, that of course was concerned with this and the Treasury. This one means very clearly that the concerned committees did receive the quarterly reports. Through quarterly reports, made the committees to correct all the nitty-gritties. That is why today we have a very clean report. Honorable Speaker, this one will promote this county government of Homa Bay in terms of implementation and also the prudent use of resources. I want fully support the adoption of this report, Mr. Speaker, on that ground, so that further, when we have such kind of projects in each and every department, we find easy time in analyzing what has come from the Auditor General. In some departments, at times you find it very murky, but for this case, I want to applaud what has been reported to us. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Daniel Odongo. Well put. Honorable Pauline Omogi.
Asante sana, mstahiki Spika, pamoja na waheshimiwa wenzangu. Kwanza kabisa nitatoa shukrani zangu kwa mwenyekiti wa hesabu za fedha, mimi kama naibu wake na wanakamati wote pamoja na makarani kwa kazi nzuri walifanya kuleta ripoti nzuri kama hii mbele yetu. Ripoti yenyewe kuhusu mkaguzi mkuu kwenye mabadiliko ya hewa ni ripoti nzuri sana, na vile vile nataka niunge waheshimiwa wenzangu mkono kwa vile wamesema vile mwenyekiti amezisoma vizuri sana kwa njia inayotakikana. Kuhusu mabadiliko ya hewa tunajua vizuri ni vipengele viwili peke yake, ni wakati wa kiangazi na wakati wa mafuriko. Nataka niseme katika jimbo letu la ugatuzi la Homa Bay kuna fedha ambazo zilitengwa wakati wa kiangazi na wakati wa mafuriko. Hizi fedha zote zilitumika kwa njia inayofaa sana vile kuhusu ripoti ambayo limetolewa na mkaguzi mkuu. Taarifa za kifedha zimewekwa kwa mpangilio vizuri sana. Kwa hivyo nataka nitoe shukrani zangu zote kwa kuunga mkono ili ripoti ambayo iliko mbele yetu leo. Asante sana mstahiki Speaker, na liunga mkono.
Thank you, Honorable Pauline Omogi. Well put. Honorable members, I am not seeing any more requests. An indication that the debate is exhausted. I am not seeing any more requests from where I sit. Honorable Eric Owidi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity for me also to contribute on what was being discussed. From the onset, Honorable Speaker, I want to support the adoption of this report and just maybe to put a small stress on what my senior brother Honorable Tony Theo had mentioned, a clean opinion from the Auditor General, it's a very important opinion for a county government, because again, it gives a good indicator for the investors who would want to come and invest in our county, that we are considering, in terms of management of the public resources, we are considering all the required legal formalities as provided in the PFM Act. With that small contribution, I support the adoption of this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Eric Owidi. Well put. Do we have any more requests? Are there any more requests? Honorable members, there being no other requests, I therefore would want to call the Chairperson, Public Accounts and Investment Committee to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to start by appreciating my colleagues for their contributions, and at the same time, in the same breath, I also want to take note on their contributions, and I believe that going forward, we will ensure that the same report is actually comes from various departments, so that we give a lot of hope to the Homabayans in terms of prudent management of financial statements in our county. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, I therefore put the question that this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts and Investments Committee on the consideration of the Auditor General report on Climate Change Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. Will as many as of the same opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
Honorable members, this House stands adjourned to today, the 2nd July at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.